Hello, hello, lovely people. How are you today? Hi. Very nice to be back with you. Sorry, I'm not entirely ready. That's why my hair is wet. I was just rushing around this morning and I left it really late to have a shower. And then I went to turn the shower on in the bathroom and my kids had taken all the hot water. So I then had to put the heater on and wait, and you know how it is. So there you go. I thought they won't mind if I'm not all dolled up. So hopefully you'll allow me today. Hi Liz Earle, Wellbeing. Hi team. Let me get our friends on Facebook and explain the situation. Hi Facebook. Hello. Hope everybody is well. I was just saying I'm really sorry. I was late having a shower because there was no hot water. So here I am. And I thought, well, there you go. Let's just crack on, shall we? And actually today I had planned to do a little chat on fitness and all of that stuff because I was getting so many questions about it. And many of you will know that I started working out with Michael Gary, who's this amazing personal trainer in London, many years ago. I probably started with him, gosh, I don't know how long ago. Maybe we were trying to think the other day, 8-9 years, something like that. And it was after I had my last child, who is definitely my last child, if you know what I mean. And he's now 10. And I was in my late 40s. And I was just thinking, gosh, you know, I've never been a skinny mini. I've never been a lean bean. That's just not my nature. That's not my makeup. And it was actually, I went on holiday. I was in Kenya. Many of you know I've got family and lots of friends in Kenya. I've got a home in Kenya. And so I spent quite a lot of time there. And we were on the coast somewhere, staying in some lovely resort and on the beach. And there was a woman there. I think she was Scandinavian, but she must have been sort of late 50s. She had older children, teenage or kind of studenty type age children in their 20s. And she was wearing a swimming costume and she just looked so amazing. You know, her body, she was just fit and muscly, but not overly muscly. You know, she didn't look like a weightlifter or anything. She just looked as if she really had looked after herself and got fit and exercised. And, you know, she was there, she was larking about, you know, diving into the pool with her kids. And I just thought, you know, that you are a real great role model. You don't realise actually what other people see, isn't it? Sometimes when people look at you or you look at other people. And that image just kind of really stuck with me. And I remember thinking, you know, okay, I can do this. You know, I'm not going to start, you know, lifting weights. Well, that's what I thought. I do actually lift a few weights now. But, you know, it's not too late. And that's one of the things that I learnt with Michael. And that's why last year, actually, we put together this little ebook called A Stronger, Slimmer You. And I deliberately called it that because, yes, of course, a lot of it's about weight loss and about shaping up, but I didn't really want that to be the focus. You know, I wanted the focus to be about being stronger and fitter as well as slimmer. You know, kind of slimmer comes as an optional extra, if you like, an added benefit that comes from being fitter and stronger. And of course now it's super relevant, isn't it, about being fit and being strong. And I'm always reminded of that great line which says, you know, you've really got to take care of your body because it's the only place you have to live. And it's true, isn't it? You know, we have one body and we need to look after it. And there's lots that we can do. And I know that everybody watching and listening will be in different places. You know, some of you will be thinking, oh my goodness, I can't even do one push-up. And others will be going, oh, look, she only did a 5K. What's she talking about? You know, so we're all in different places, but you've got to start somewhere. This is, I guess, my message, isn't it? It's if you don't do something, then you're really letting yourself down because bodies were made to move and they love mixtures of movements. So I try not to do the same thing over again. That's why in the e-guide, I think there are over 30 different recipes. There are some recipes as well, quite good ones, of exercises. And also, don't forget, you can always go onto YouTube because the Liz Earle Wellbeing YouTube channel has the exercise sequences that I do, that I filmed here in my bedroom a few weeks ago with Michael. He was on FaceTime, so we filmed him on my iPad telling me what to do. So it's me being put through my paces, and we've got exercises for abs, for arms, there's great ones for bums and tums, and there's a warm-up, and, you know, I'm not an exercise guru at all. You know, he is the one who's giving the advice here, but I just thought it'd be quite fun to share what I'm doing. And there's no equipment. You don't need any equipment. You don't even need to wear anything special. Having said that, of course, I have been asked lots of questions, so I've been looking at my questions that have come in overnight, and thank you very much to Amy on Facebook. Hi, my love. Thank you for sending these through to me. Why is this? If my children have changed the code, I am going to be flipping furious. No, that's it. Honestly, I have to keep changing the password because my youngest, he keeps cracking the code, and, you know, he should go and work at GCHQ or somewhere, because honestly, whatever I put in, he can just undo it in seconds. Right, okay, so this was from Suey Chewy on Instagram. Okay, so you said, interesting, your question, I didn't realise that until I'd just spoken. You said, how did you get into exercising in the first place? And is it something you've always done? You know, no, absolutely not. As I said, I am not a gym bunny. I mean, I am happiest on the sofa, you know, with a packet of fruit and nut. You know, that is kind of, was my default position. I have grown up a bit since then. But no, I was never sporty. I've always admired those who played sport. I've admired those who can swim really well. I'm not a very good swimmer. I'm, you know, not really particularly good at anything physical, to be honest. So it was really, I think, about wanting to be healthy, wanting to get my shape back after all these children, and just kind of wanted to regain a bit of control, I think. And just like a bit more what I saw in the mirror, and recognise that hopefully I'm halfway through. You know, I'm in my 50s, and I'm thinking this is potentially, with a bit of luck and a following wind, the halfway point. So how am I going to live the next half of my life? What do I want to achieve? Who do I want to be? And part of that is, of course, how am I going to do it? And we're going to do it by being strong, mentally and physically. So I think that was my motivation. You've asked here, Sui, about my motivation. And what do I do? What do I run? Do I run, exercise? I try and do a little bit of something every day, frankly. And I think I said this yesterday. I try and do my bit for the day first thing, because otherwise everything just crowds in, especially at the moment. It's crazy busy, and lots of, you know, stuff going on that I'm having to deal with. So I try and get it out of the way, either with a run or a bit of weights. And these are a couple of things I wanted to share with you. So everything, I know, Amy, you will put links on Facebook, because people are always saying, yes, but where do I find it? On Instagram, you can find it on Linktree. So if you're new to Instagram, welcome. If you're looking at me for the first time, underneath my bio, which is that little picture in the little circle where there's a bit of blurb about me, there's a blue line that says Linktree. And if you click on that on Instagram, it just opens up with podcasts and recipes and links to features and links to discounts and all kinds of stuff. And I try, before I do these recordings, I now try and kind of populate that with all the stuff I'm going to talk about, so it's kind of all there ready and waiting. But if it's not there, you'll most likely find it on Liz Earle Wellbeing. LizEarleWellbeing.com is always the kind of default position for everything else. So, a couple of things I wanted to share with you. This has been a really good investment for me. This is a weight jacket, and I put the link to two on my Linktree. So, and there's also a feature, if you're looking at LizEarleWellbeing.com, there's a feature on running and fitness, and you'll find them in there as well. This one is 5k, so 5 kilos, and you just slip it on. You just put it over your shoulders. You just sort of wear it like a jacket. I've also put the links to another one, which is 2.5k, because this is quite heavy. And if you're 5 kilos, it doesn't really sound very much, but when you are wearing it for a workout, you really know about it. So Michael now, bless his little heart, makes me do push-ups wearing a weight jacket. But what I tend to do, particularly, I'm actually going to order the 2.5k one as well, so I've got both, is, if it doesn't sell out, if you guys don't beat me to it, obviously, is it's kind of like exercise without realising you're exercising, because you can wear this around the house. You know, you can wear this when you're out walking the dog. You can wear this whenever you like, and you are just carrying more weight. Interesting, isn't it, when you do that? Because then when you take it off, you feel really light, and you think, gosh, if I lost 5 kilos, how much lighter would I feel? And more energetic, and more able to, you know, kind of run down the road or chase after something without getting out of breath. So the other thing that I do, which is a bit of a cheat, is I use ankle weights. And again, I put links to these. These are strap-on weights. They go around your ankle. And this is something I know that the lovely Lauren Cuthbertson, who I've interviewed on a couple of occasions, does, the prima ballerina at the Royal Ballet. She wears these when she's walking around town. So you just kind of, oops, sorry, showing you my feet. That's terribly bad form, isn't it? But that's all you do. You just strap them on and wear them. You can wear them when you're out. You can wear them, under trousers. You can wear them when you're walking around the house. You can wear them walking up and down stairs. And they are just always there to tone and help strengthen your leg muscles. So you're not even thinking about it. I mean, that's what I love about kind of doing little bits of exercise like that, is finding ways that we can build being more active into our lives without having to, go to the gym or get changed or, do anything major. Because let's face it, well, for me anyway, and I'm sure for a lot of you, if it requires a huge amount of effort, then it's not going to happen. You can see all the hearts coming on Instagram, agreeing with me. One of the other things I try and do is just try and do some arm exercises. I've been asked about my arms. My arms have completely changed shape since working out with Michael Gary, and I'm not using weights. Sometimes I do have some weights now, and I will. He makes me do bicep curls like that. But it's mostly things like push-ups and tricep dips and things that you can do using your own body weight. Your own body weight is all it takes. Don't worry, if you can't get down on the floor and do a push-up, do one against the wall. Stand against the wall and just push against it like that. If you're going to do one. And then the next time, do 2. And the next time, do 3. And then it goes on and on and on. And, if you're like me with Michael Gary, he's going, right, and another 50, and then let's put the weight jacket on. You can always do a bit more. Whatever level of fitness you're at, you can gauge it. You can be your own best guide. Obviously, if it hurts, stop, because pain is not good. And what you don't want to do during any of this, of course, is get injured, because getting injured is a real bore. The other thing that he advised me to do quite early on when I started training with him was to get some good trainers. And he recommended these Adidas ones. Again, I've put the link in. They've got this kind of grippy, stretchy front. They're a bit more expensive than most, but honestly, I feel like I'm flying when I wear them. They just give me so much bounce, and they kind of propel me along like a little bunny hopping. So you'll see these often in my pictures. They're the ones that I wear. I know lots of people have asked about those. Again, I've put links into those. More questions on here. And in fact, I did do a couple of screenshots for myself, just as a reminder, because I actually wanted to talk about a couple of things here that had really just really caught my eye, and things that people had said to me, because I'm sure I'm not personally on Facebook, so I don't tend to look so much at Facebook. That's kind of the magazine team. Oh, I love that comment. I do a lot of bell ringing, which is great for arms and upper abdomen. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I bet it is. Really good. But I do look at my comments always on Instagram, and I don't do direct message. I'm really sorry, I just can't. It's just one more thing. It just, so I've got Annie very kindly looks after that for me, but hopefully people know to leave a comment for me rather than a direct message. Anyway, I was looking at my Instagram yesterday afternoon, and there were a few things that just really caught my eye, which I thought, that's quite interesting. I'm sure you guys will be interested. And this is an account that I started following a little while ago. I think they're in Portugal, and they're called Wild View Retreat. I quite fancy going there actually when I'm able to. But anyway, so it just said that the writer here has obviously just come back to the UK, because this is what he or she posted yesterday or the day before, saying, back in the UK for a couple of weeks, I can't help feel how easily affected I've been by the tsunami of negativity in the UK media, drip feeding us hour by hour, day by day. Turning it off for a few days has been like a huge weight that's been lifted. I've realised to live life unaffected by the brainwashing and never-ending marketing of toxicity. We really need to learn to manage our exposure, as they won't do it for us. Wow, powerful stuff. I love that. Never-ending marketing of toxicity. And I think we do have to remember that news feeds, news organisations, even national broadcasters are there to get ratings, to get viewers, to get subscribers, to get click. It's all clickbait online. And of course, the more negative, the more powerful, the more unempowered we feel, the more dependent on their news services. And I have actually uninstalled my news apps on my phone. I don't do what I used to do, which was always reach in the morning for the radio button to turn on the news. I don't do that anymore. And the change in my mental health and my levels of anxiety has been dramatic. And yes, of course, I'll listen to, government briefing because I want to know what's going on. I actually look at Twitter a bit more. Now, Twitter, I have to say, I have reservations, huge reservations about Twitter. And I don't often comment on it because I find it not a particularly safe space, if I'm perfectly honest, for a female with a view. I think there's a lot of stuff that goes on there which I really don't like. And, if you are, a female politician, how you cope with all of that trolling and abuse, I have no idea. I mean, I don't have the ability to cope with that, so I tend not to engage. But I do follow some quite interesting people. And it's quite an interesting place to get news. There's a very good professor of oncology called Professor Carol Sikora, who I follow. If you're interested in Twitter, then I'm Liz Earle on Twitter, and you can see kind of who I follow. And I do occasionally post things and repost things, particularly from medics. I follow quite a lot of medics on Twitter because unlike Instagram, Twitter has links, so you can get links to papers and documents and studies. A lot of research people I follow from around the world will post links to their papers online on Twitter, and that makes it quite an easy place to access information. But that really struck with me. So Wildview Retreat, I don't know who you are, but I just think that's very interesting. And you've obviously come back into the UK. And what has struck you, it has been the UK media. The UK media drip feeding us hour by hour, day by day. And turning it off is like a huge weight that has been lifted. So there we go. And then I picked up on a few comments that were coming in from Instagram. And this is from Maria, who says, I've chosen to stop watching the news this week. Not to bury my head in the sand, just a week of more positivity. Brilliant. Love that comment. Then there's another one I picked up, also from the same day, and this is from Lula Pankhurst, says, I'm trying to stay positive when all around us is negativity, trying to focus on what I can change and letting go of that which I can't. It's tough. I miss my friends, my family. I miss fun. I'm with you there. I'm absolutely with you, Lula. And I hope that here we can have a bit of fun, which I know we do occasionally, particularly in my studios. If you were candle making with me, you would have had a little bit of fun with my wibbly wobbly wicks. I'm going to be back in my studios actually tomorrow, hopefully. I'm really hoping that Lily's going to be well enough to do an Instagram TV with me, because she's not been able to recently, but I'm hoping, so let's see. It'd be nice to have her. So yes, Lula, it's all about focusing on what we can change, letting go of the stuff that we can't, realising that actually what we choose to feed our bodies, we totally have control over. We can decide what we're going to reach for. We can decide whether we're going to try and do even one push-up. We can decide if we're going to go out for an extra 5 minutes for a walk, or take the stairs 2 at a time, or put on a weight jacket, or whatever it is. Those are conscious decisions that we can make that will help to make a difference. They'll make us stronger. They'll make us more resilient. They'll make us more mentally and emotionally able to cope with all the stuff that gets thrown at us right now. And of course it'll still be thrown at us. It's whether we allow it to stick that is the key thing. So a couple of other comments, actually moving on from that. So Claire Palmer has asked, keto diet. Okay, so keto, this is where you eat very high fat, zero carbs. Well, not zero, you can't have zero carbs because vegetables and things have carbs in, which are the good carbs rather than refined sugars. But yes, I write about that a little bit. If you're interested, do get my e-guide. It's called A Stronger, Slimmer You. I think it's $4.99. It's from Liz Earle Wellbeing. It's super good. It's packed with information. It's got all the recipes there. It's got lots on keto. It's got all the exercises that I do. It's got stuff from Michael. It's got links to podcasts, all the stuff that will kind of keep us going. So yes, so keto, I tried keto at the end of last year. And I did it really strictly for about 6 weeks, and I felt really good on it, I have to say. And, you know, I should probably go back to it because I'm kind of looking at my face now thinking I'm a bit puffy. And I know that's because I drank way too much wine last night, actually, if I'm honest. So that's why I'm a bit puffy in the face today. So, yes, so getting rid of the carbs and the sugars and, you know, trying to... I should drink more water. I've got my water here, actually reminds me I have to drink water. This was a nice comment. This has come in from Dorinda Katina. That's on Instagram. And you are in Cyprus. So hi, Dorinda, if you're watching. And you've said, a big thank you, Liz, for introducing me to Readly. English magazines are so expensive here in Cyprus, and I used to buy a lot. So not only have you saved me money, but also less paper. So this is great. So this, if you missed this, this is how to get free magazines. Okay, this is a really, really great hack. You go to Readly. Well, you have to do it through the link on Liz Earle Wellbeing. So I put a link. Amy, I'm sure, my love, you'll put a link on Facebook, and you can get the link, Instagram guys, on Linktree. Or you can do it through the Liz Earle Wellbeing website. Have I got it on here? I might have it here to show you, because it is a really good, sneaky little trick. If you go to, I'll show you on Liz Earle Wellbeing because that's an easy way. So that's my website, okay, Liz Earle Wellbeing. And then you go to search and you go to shop. And when you go to shop, it brings you up all the little options here, like books, magazines, digital stuff, blah, blah, blah. So you go to digital magazine because that's what you want with Readly, digital magazine. So if I click on that, then hopefully, bit slow loading, teenagers in the house and all that. Okay, then you come up here with the options for your digital magazine. So you've got single issue, which is I think $4.99 on Zinio if you just want that one issue. But I mean, why would you when you can actually get free here? So this, if you click on Readly, so normally you pay $7.99 for a month for Readly. And what that does is it gives you access to, I mean, I don't know, tens of thousands of magazines all over the world. So wherever you are, if you guys, Dorinda, you're in Cyprus, I know I've got friends watching in Kenya, guys, I know you're in New Zealand, Helen, I know that Brenda, I think you're in Chicago. You know, there are lots and lots of people all over the world who don't have access, obviously, to my lovely printed magazine, but still want to read the articles and get the info. So that's what you get from Readly. And then you basically click to subscribe. If you go add to basket, it will say here, because you've clicked through me, get 1 month free here. So you click on that. So for the next month, while we're all spending a bit more time indoors, you can try it out and you can read whatever magazine you like. And not only the current issue of Liz Earle Wellbeing, it also gives you a load of back issues as well. So if you're thinking, oh, I wonder what they're writing about in January. And actually January, I did a lot of fitness stuff in January because it was all about kind of new year and new you and get fit. Or you might want to read what I was talking about last summer, you know, about things like sunscreens and, you know, all those kind of topical things and the recipes with the seasonal ingredients. So anyway, so I think it's great. And I'm really pleased, Dorinda, you mentioned that and that you've enjoyed that. So good. That's a good thing to share, isn't it? What else are we saying here? So this is Nikki on Facebook. You've said, hi, I bought kefir drink and some Yo Valley kefir yogurt. How do you recommend starting its use? Well, Nikki, just eat it, okay? Just like a yogurt. It's not anything different. It's not medicine, although it works in a way like some amazing kind of gut health medicine. Just have whatever you like. You know, I would always say if you've not been really good with your gut foods, then go gently, because you can get what's called SIBO, where you get this kind of overload of good bacteria because your body's suddenly going, flipping heck, what's all this? You know, you suddenly start having sourdough bread and you're drinking kombucha and you're drinking kefir and eating live yogurt and having a bit more sauerkraut and kimchi and, you know, all of this stuff, which is good. But again, it's all about balance, isn't it? It's all about having a little bit, bringing your body gradually along the journey. So, so try it out. See how you get on. You know, just have a bit of yogurt in the morning. I like mine with nuts and seeds. Love that. You know, my favourite snack is a bit of really good quality, full fat, rich, creamy yogurt with plain yogurt, with, you know, it's live yogurt, maybe homemade, maybe shop bought. And I put into that, I make a mixture, which I keep ready-made in a jar. So I've got it ready to sprinkle onto seeds, or I put it onto avocado or into yogurt, whatever. So I like flaked almonds with sesame seeds and few chopped up roasted hazelnuts, a few Brazil nuts chopped up. Brazil nuts have got so much selenium in them. They're a really good thing to have. Pumpkin seeds because they're nice and crunchy. And I mean, I just chuck in anything. Maybe a few chia seeds because they swell up, so they make you feel fuller for longer. Some flax seeds, you've got a bit of phytoestrogen activity going on there. I found a packet of pistachios the other day. Those lovely plain pistachios, not the salted ones, but the plain ones. And so I just roughly chopped those and added them into a yogurt. And oh my goodness, that was great. With a drop of rose water. Has anybody bought the organic rose water that I showed you? That's on my website as well. Forget which feature it's in. Might be the nutty rose petal granola, maybe, or something else. Amy, I'm sure you'll probably find it, sweetheart. But that, one little drop of rose water in yogurt with a few sunflower seeds and a few pistachios. I mean, it's amazing. It's like you've made some amazing kind of ottolenghi, gorgeous Persian pudding, you know. Anyway, so yeah, so that's what I would do, Nikki. If you've got some kefir or some yogurt drink, then just go for it. Just, you know, don't overdo it, but just have a little bit. Just have, you know, if I was drinking kefir, that's the kind of size of glass that I would have. But very often I'll add kefir to other things. So I did have, before I started this just now, I did have a couple of bowls of my rose petal granola. Has anybody made that recently? Oh, my goodness, lots of hearts coming up on that. It is so good, isn't it? I actually have to go and make some more. I made 2 lots because I made one to sort of try out, to test, to make sure I had everything right, and then one when I was actually doing the demo. That's in my yearbook 1, that rose petal granola. I do have a basic recipe for granola on Liz Earle Wellbeing, and you can adapt it because I was using a little bit of some dried rose petals and some of that lovely rose water that I talked about. Let's see if I can see it here. I think it's in the summer section. Oh my goodness, so many summer things that I want to make. Watermelon vodka and mint cooler. That sounds rather good, doesn't it? I've got here chilled almond soup. I've forgotten about that one. Red mullet with runner beans and niçoise dressing. Italian summer pudding. Oh, that is such a good recipe. All these lovely fruits and berries. You know that we're having a real glut of strawberries at the moment because all the poor British strawberry growers and farmers were making tons and tons of them, literally growing tons of them for Wimbledon and other events. And of course that's all cancelled. So now we're getting this huge amount. Hummus recipe, that's also such a good one. And where is my rose petal granola? I know it's here somewhere. I think I said it before, didn't I? I remember saying to you guys, I gave you the name of the page, or the page number, beetroot burgers. Actually, that's really good. If you looked at my stories earlier, you would have seen that I made this one. This was the asparagus rustic tart. The recipe is actually with gluten-free flour, so it makes a gluten-free pastry base, but it doesn't have to be gluten-free. You can make it with regular flour. But again, lots of asparagus around at the moment. And that I made with goat's cheese, and it's honestly fantastic. We had that for supper the other night, and I put that on my Instagram stories. Summer coleslaw, that's a really, really good one. Tomato and bean salad. I think I demonstrated that the other day, didn't I, in my kitchen. And that is so delicious. Again, talk about rose waters. Look at this one. This is a really fabulous recipe, and it looks so impressive. It's really easy. It's watermelon, feta, mint, and pistachio salad. Okay, just those 4 things. Chopped up watermelon, feta cheese, some fresh mint leaves, and some pistachios with a rose water vinaigrette. It's coming back to that lovely rose water again. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that gorgeous? And the taste, really good. You know, if we continue to get some nice weather and we're able to sit outside and eat outside, just makes... Oh, there we go. Nutty rose petal granola. It's actually just a picture of rose petals after all that. But the ingredients, so that was, I was using coconut oil with rolled oats, and you basically toast them together, and then you add in your dried rose petals and your rose water with a little bit of honey. And then what's the secret ingredients in your, if you're making homemade granola, is to add a little bit of salt and pepper. I know it sounds really weird. You're thinking, this is, you know, cereal. Why would I add salt and pepper? Little grind of fresh black pepper, a little bit of sea salt, transforms your homemade granola. And I know, Amy, you've popped a recipe. So the basic homemade granola you'll find on lizearlewellbeing.com. Otherwise, the rose petal one is in this one, which is yearbook 1. So a couple of other things that I wanted to mention today. You may have seen that I did a little piece about sleep. I recorded a video on sleep. I think it was the end of last week, with a few of the things that I had found really helpful, because I think in all this, if we're going to look after our bodies and look after our minds, we have to have a good night's sleep. You know, that is just like a fundamental. We should be asleep for nearly a third of our lives. And how do we get good quality sleep? And, you know, for me, I'm sure like everybody, my mind is often racing. There's a lot of serious stuff going on in the world and also in our home lives. And, you know, we're thinking about a lot of things, and we need that rest, because that's the time when our brain processes. I did a very good podcast, I think it was a couple of years ago now, with a great guy called Max Lowry. Facebook seems to have disappeared. Where have you gone, Facebook? It's just suddenly stopped. Oh dear. My poor friends on Facebook. Let me see whether they're there. What happened? I don't think. Let me just check. Hello, Facebook. I'm so sorry. Did something happen? Let me know if you're still there. If not, you have to come onto Instagram. It's always a great thing, isn't it, about having two options. Let me know. Send me some waves if you're there. Silence from Facebook. Whoops. Oh yes, I can see. You've come on. Hello. I'm so sorry. I really don't know what happened. My phone said low battery, so I kind of went to dismiss the notification, and maybe I clicked it off again, honestly. So I'm going to be quick, aren't I? I've got low battery. Hi. So sorry. Interrupt the broadcast. What was I saying? Oh yes. So about going to sleep and about getting good quality sleep. And if you haven't yet watched that little video clip, do watch it, because I was amazed actually at how many comments and just people saying this has been really helpful. Even something simple like popping a couple of drops of lavender oil on your pillow, the difference that can make. And, you know, lavender oil, they have actually done studies into it. It's not just a pretty smell. It does actually have a sedating quality. And I was sent not long ago some supplements to try. I'm sent lots of stuff, as you can imagine, by lots of people saying, oh, please try this and, you know, talk about that. And I will only ever talk about things and mention things if I've personally tried them and genuinely rate them and think that they're useful. Anyway, this package arrived and it was from a company called Life Armour. And I thought, it's quite interesting, but, you know, I wasn't massively enamoured with it, if I'm perfectly frank, because I get sent a lot of this kind of stuff. Anyway, I tried the Slumber Drops, which I talk about in my video, and blow me, they are really, really helpful. They have got extracts of Passionflower and valerian. They're a liquid, and I used to take Passionflower or Passionflower capsules to help me sleep at night. But the thing with a capsule is you swallow it, and then you have to wait for your digestive system to break down the capsule shell, and then it has to kind of permeate through your system. So taking it last thing at night, well, I mean, that's okay, but it could be half an hour before it starts to work in your body. And I would always forget to take it, you know, half an hour before bedtime. Anyway, these Slumber Drops, I've got them sat on my bedside table. And you put them under your tongue, so they go straight into your system. And being a tincture, being a liquid, they're instantly, you know, they don't have to go through the kind of process of being broken down, the capsule bit being broken down. And I have found them really helpful. So I put in about half a dozen things that I do to help me sleep. The mouth guard. Yes, the mouth guard that I put on there is genius. Believe me, I have bitten my way through more mouth guards than probably the entire, you know, English rugby team. I mean, I'm a very, very heavy chomper, and it hurts my jaw. So I found these cheap mouth guards. I can't remember the name of them. I have a link. Amy will pop a link up on Facebook. If you're watching me on Instagram, it's in the sleep feature that I did. And you'll find it on Linktree, and it's a particular make. It's called, I don't know, Dentac or something, but they do lots of different varieties. So I can't remember the exact one. But you buy a multi-pack of them. But honestly, one of them lasts forever. I mean, I've got this multi-pack probably a couple of years ago, and I'm still using it. So it's the most inexpensive and best way to stop grinding. Don't forget, there's also a really good feature on jaw tension and grinding on Liz Earle Wellbeing. So there's a lovely jaw therapist called Liz Earle, who I interviewed in the magazine. You may have seen her. I think it was in last month's issue, or the last issue, because we're bi-monthly. Or maybe she's in the current one. Is she in the current one? And anyway, she's given us some fantastic exercises of what to do to prevent you getting this awful, jaw ache. And I think it's in the one before last. Anyway, she is really, really good. And so do take a look at that. Thank you. You've just popped a little link on there, Amy. That's great. So the Life Armour Slumber Drops, I think, are great. And I know they've given us a discount code. I think it is 15%. Yeah, I was looking at my notes. Yeah, Liz Loves will get you 15%. And I was also then trying these, because they sent me this as well. Now, I haven't yet got a view on this, so I'm just sharing it with you. But I thought it looked really interesting. It's nice cardboard packaging. This is called Super Me, and I don't know whether it's about, Super Me, or whether it means super me, like make me super. Anyway, the blurb on it says it reduces the effects of stressful lifestyles, enhancing mood, energy and focus. So I thought, great, that sounds good. And then I was looking at the herbal ingredients, and it's just got 4 herbs in it. So it's got botanicals, Rhodia rosea and but basically it's got 4 really good herbs called adaptogenic herbs. One of them is ashwagandha. You might have heard people talk about that, which is used for stress and anxiety. The other one is passionflower, which, as we know, is very calming and it reduces anxiety. Then there's linden blossom, which again is also used to clear the mind and to just calm a nervous state of tension. And rhodiola rosea, probably not pronounced that right. But when I looked into that, I thought, these are quite interesting. And if they are as good as the Slumber Drops, so I've been taking these, just a couple every morning. And put the lid on. I can't open it up properly. There you go. This looks like capsules. So I've been taking a couple of those, and yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good. So could be worth a try. And again, you get the discount. So, but anyway, go and have a look on their website. Worth reading up about them. Life Armour. I've just seen here another quickie. This is from Carry On Baking. Are you watching? On Instagram. And you say, I wonder, Liz, if you could send a birthday shout out to my partner John today. I think that was maybe yesterday, so apologies if I'm late. Who has sat through all of the lockdown lives here every night after work. Oh, hi, John. Aren't you brilliant? You've learned all about menopause and mood and anxiety and estrogen and all of those things. Probably too much information in some areas, but it's great to have your company. Thank you. Thank you very much for being with me. You've gone on, Carrie, to say, we've both learned so much. Thanks to all the Wellbeing team for keeping us well cared for. Well, that is so great. We're so happy. We're so happy to have you with us and to share the love and to share it with everybody. A couple of other questions before I go. Trinity Box, you say, where did you get your outfit from, please? I'm looking at getting some new running leggings and tops. So most of my exercise gear, like this top that I'm wearing, comes from Asquith, asquithlondon.co.uk. Really nice British brand. They make a lot using sustainable fabrics, using things like bamboo fibre, which is really soft. This top I've got in lots of different colours. This is one just to show you what it looks like. I mean, I've had this one probably for, I don't know, a couple of years. It's got like a built-in bra top into it, so I don't actually wear a separate sports bra, I just wear this, and I find it gives me enough support, and I just like the crossovers at the back. So yeah, so really well made, lasts for a long time, and this one, I think I wear a small, yeah, so I'm a small in Asquith. So I think they do maybe 5 or 6 sizes. But you get 20% off. You have to use Liz Earle 20 for that. Sorry, it's a slightly different code. Liz Earle 20 gets you 20% off Asquith. A couple of other things. Wasn't it lovely chatting to Nena yesterday? Didn't you love her beauty balm? I've got this here. I was actually using it on my fingers earlier because my fingers are so dry. all that hand washing. I know lots of you were commenting afterwards what a great chat it was and how much you liked the look of her A-game, which is that solid balm that you can use all over for moisturisation and I was using it on my lips and hands, everything. And she has also kindly given us all a discount code, and that is Liz Loves. You get 20%, and that is LBB Skincare. So thank you very much, Nana. It was lovely to chat to you. I am going to go now. I'm going to have a little bit more of my golden shot. Doesn't that just look so amazing? I just wanted to remind you about the collaboration that Liz Earle Wellbeing are doing with the Healthy Juice Company, because this stuff is just, it's so energising. And I think, investing in ourselves, in our fitness, giving a bit of time, headspace. We've got so many podcasts to listen to. Dr. Rebecca Lewis, that's one of my favourites on anxiety and hormones. Lots of chat I can see going on online about hormones and help for that. So much. I'm not even going to get started on HRT and estrogen. I'm going to have another proper chat, I think, with Menopause Doctor. I might ask her back here, see if we can split the screen again, because so much that's important that is not being addressed at the moment, because people aren't getting to see their GPs and they aren't getting referred for the right medical care. But hopefully this time we can use to start bringing in new habits, to start engaging on a positive level. Please don't sit and scroll the news feeds. Find other things. Take a deep dive into the world of Liz Earle Wellbeing. We've got loads of podcasts. There's loads of free stuff on my website. There's downloads. There's recipes. There's these lovely chats that I'm doing most days now. So thank you for your company. I just hope that is sharing a bit of positivity and switching off that toxic stream of negativity that I was talking about at the very beginning. And I'm going to be back with you tomorrow. So hopefully from my studios, hopefully joined by Lily. Let's see, fingers crossed. She can tell us all about her histamine diet and how that's going. If you've got any comments and questions, please pop them below. Facebook, please pop them in the comments section on Facebook and we'll pick them up. Instagram, exactly the same. Please leave them in my comments. I don't do direct message, but I will have a look at my comments. And I wish you all a great rest of the day. Thank you for being with me, and I'm sending you lots of love, as always.